Thank you, everybody, for joining here on our first episode of our public sector webinar series. On the first episode here today, we're going to be covering contact center modernization trends within the public sector. This is the first episode that we're doing of this, so we'd just like to call out, please provide any feedback to us on specific topics that you'd like us to cover in future episodes. We're happy to have that feedback. The goal of these is to have probably around a 5 to 10 minute quick webinar on some of those different trends that we're seeing from customers in the public sector. So please let us know what is working and what else you would like us to cover. A little bit about myself. My name is Tate Ewing. I lead our public sector and our healthcare and life sciences vertical here at NeuraFlash. I joined NeuraFlash around 4 months ago from AWS. I was at AWS for the last 6.5 years or so, supporting customers within the public sector. And so looking forward to this first webinar kickoff and being able to continue these over the next couple of months. So when you think of what is driving public sector transformations within the contact center, there are a few different things to think of. The first is many legacy contact centers have disconnected systems that aren't able to talk to each other. So you have call center agents often toggling between different and multiple applications, such as the IVR, a backend CRM, such as Salesforce, chat, and then different knowledge bases that are able to build within these systems. All these things are in silos. The second, we probably all experience this to a certain extent, is long wait times and limited hours. Calling into a line and being told that you have to wait for 60 minutes or not even being told what the time period is, and you're just waiting, hoping that someone answers the call. And then additionally, only being able to get in touch with somebody or being able to get in touch with the system between business hours. As we all are used to with many of the large tech companies working with Amazon.com or Google or Microsoft or any of the other large tech companies, we expect being able to get in touch with somebody and being able to get answers to our questions really 24/7. The third is that these systems are often very scripted. So how many times have you called into a line and been asked or trying to just, you have 6 or 7 different options, and the response that you have is just get me to an agent as soon as possible. So those are many of the different things that we see as part of legacy contact centers within public sector. And we know public sector is, state and local perspective, is very much an industry that is ripe for change and ripe for modernization. We all know these systems are not at the same level that many of the other commercial entities that we deal with are at. And so when you look at what does a modern omni-channel contact center look like, the first would be a unified agent console. So all channels across voice, chat, email, and social integrated into one view, and then having real-time data as part of that. And so the agent that is on the other end, when you call into a call center, being able to direct you as necessary based on how the conversation is actually going. So being able to leverage real-time sentiment, being able to leverage real-time tone to be able to tell how the person is feeling, and being able to direct them as necessary off of that. And then finally, I've kind of touched on this, but that personalized support, being able to call into a line and seeing, hey, this is, I know the agent knows that this is this particular caller based on their phone number or perhaps another additional information that will be able to provide more faster and relevant answers based on why you're calling in. If the agent already knows, hey, you're probably calling in about your current status of your unemployment insurance claim. Is that what you're calling in? Being able to just cut right to that and have all the historical data based on that is very relevant. So moving on here, just to show a general flow for how this often looks. So let's say I'm the constituent calling in. I'm checking the status of my unemployment insurance claim. I call into the state support line. There's some back-end technology that I won't really get into. We'll cover in a future episode. But a voice bot being able to identify my request, assist with self-service so that maybe I don't need to actually route to an actual agent. The agent, if you take a call center and you have 100% of agents are responding to questions where, let's say, 70% of questions are all the same or all very similar, the idea would be, hey, how can we self-service some of these questions as much as possible, especially these common questions, and then have the agent actually be able to focus on more complex asks from different residents. So as part of that, I'd be able to check my status update or be able to see where the actual point of where the status is. So the most common example of this that many people know is the pizza tracker, where you order pizza online and you know that the pizza has been, that your order has been received, that next the pizza has been put into the oven, next that you have 20 or 30 minutes before the pizza actually shows up at your front door. That's the type of process flow here. And so when you think of this from the perspective of benefits, the benefit actually being registered in the system, the benefit being processed, let's say over a 2 to 3 week period, and then once the benefit is actually sent to the person's bank account. So that voice bot would be able to contain and deflect the call as needed. And then, of course, there are times that we always need to be able to get to an agent and actually speak to a human. So that option for people always to be able to get to an agent to be able to speak to somebody. NeuraFlash, we are very familiar within this space. We were founded in 2016, actually out of the Salesforce ecosystem, and helped create one of the first AI chatbots for Salesforce. We did 200 plus projects with Amazon Contact Center, and so have a fair amount of expertise within this space and have had a number of different successful go lives and projects that help cover what residents are looking for within different states. One of the new solutions that we have brought to market is called Bolt. And the reason that we brought that to market is that we've seen a number of different, and I'm sure people have worked with different bots that are very rigid in the sense that, let's say you call into a IVR line, you have 6 to 7 options that are just very constrained and constricted on the specific information or answers that you're able to get. And so we're seeing the industry much more progress to more autonomous agents based on natural language processing to be able to actually, understand more in a human to human like capacity of how people are actually talking based on an AI reasoning engine. These are becoming much easier to be able to stand up. And of course, many public sector organizations are looking to be able to leverage generative AI, and autonomous agents are a much easier lift for many of these organizations than actually building a new generative AI application from the ground up. So the way to think of Bolt is really a managed agent for public sector organizations that they can quickly be able to stand up. It's leveraging AWS generative AI technology, so Amazon Bedrock, and then of course the different ancillary services across the Amazon Contact Center suite. So Amazon Lex, Amazon Connect, and then Amazon Q. And then the key customer benefits, of course, faster adoption of generative AI tools, able to help build customizable and scalable based on the AWS native architecture is we've been getting very positive feedback from public sector organizations on this offering. And then when you think of just the building block, just to give some insight on how the system is actually built, it includes a pre-built multi-agent architecture and agent orchestration. So it's going to connect then to Amazon Bedrock with the agents that are on top of that, and then be able to direct specific actions based on the requests within the foundational model that is chosen within Amazon Bedrock, such as Claude. So to wrap up here, a modern public contact center, it's proactive, it anticipates citizens' needs. So think of this from the perspective of an outreach. If we know that a huge storm, let's say a huge rainstorm is coming and trash pickup is happening on Monday, perhaps a proactive outreach to residents to be able to change the schedule or to just let them know, maybe to put the trash within specific areas of the neighborhood or the street. That could be an example. It's personalized. If someone calls in asking for the status of a claim or where a particular benefit is, being able to quickly understand who that person is, being able to bring up all the relevant historical information and conversations that have happened previously. It's accessible to different residents across many different channels so that they're able to interact with government much more often than just 8x5 Monday through Friday, and be able to get the benefits and services that residents need across different state and local entities. And then finally, not being able to sacrifice quality. being able to increase self-service so that people are able to get answers to their questions as quickly as possible, while also not needing to jump on these IVR systems and always asking first, just get me to an agent, just get me to an agent. Trying to efficiently deflect as many calls as possible, and also being able to deflect as operational and as efficient as possible the specific handle times so that there's not as much back and forth between the agent and whoever is calling in. So to wrap things up here, thank you all for joining. Please let us know of any feedback or any particular sessions that you would like us to cover in future episodes. We hope to see you at the AWS Public Sector Summit. We'll be at the AWS Generative AI Hub. We'll be demoing Bolt, and then we'll also be there for meetings and different conversations with both Amazon teams and then public sector organizations. So we look forward to seeing you all. And again, please let us know of any feedback or what you would like us to cover. In the next episode, we're going to be doing a public sector summit, Know Before You Go. So thank you for joining here, and please let us know of any feedback. Thank you.